this American ride. Gotta love this American ride. Mama gets her rocks off watching Desperate Housewives.
Hello America, it's Don Coleman. Thank you for tuning in again to the American Patriot program. The theme of this program this week is going to be death. What it cost us. How many people had to die to protect our freedom. I think sometimes we lose that. We forget what it cost us. And it's something that we need to remember, because even now we're sacrificing our young men and women to protect our freedom. Now, whether you agree with the war or you don't agree with it, that's not the issue. The issue is right now that they're over there protecting us. And we have to have them. We need them. And every time you see somebody in the street or in a restaurant that's in uniform, you ought to shake their hand. You ought to go up to them and tell them thank you. Especially if you see them in a restaurant. Buy them dinner. These guys are risking their lives over there, and they can't even shoot back. I've talked to a couple of people that are telling me about the rules of engagement. It's insane. These guys can't shoot anybody unless they're directly pointing a gun at them at the time. Even though the guy just had a gun in his hand and he was just shooting at me, if he puts it down and walks across the street, they can't shoot him. So these guys aren't stupid over there. So what they're doing is they're putting guns in different houses. So they'll shoot at our troops from one house, put the gun down, walk across the street, get the gun in the other house, start shooting at them again. And even though our guys are 100% sure that's the guy, they can't shoot him. Are we there to what? Have a party? We're there to dance. We're there to win. And the way you win a war is you're killing the enemy. You kill them before they kill you. Some civilians are going to die. Sorry. I don't hear nobody screaming at the governments over there, not protecting their own people. But we got to do it. And when we do it, our people die. So go out of your way when you see somebody in uniform and show them your appreciation. Okay. The American Revolutionary War. 4,435 people died getting us this Constitution. 6,188 people were wounded. Now, that doesn't sound like very many, but don't forget, there weren't a lot of people in America back then. Okay? Then after that one, we had the Indian War, fighting the Indians. Oh boy. Here we're going to get some emails on that. But anyway, that's our history, like it or not. We had 1,000 people die in the Indian War. The War of 1812, we had 2,260 people die and 4,505 people wounded fighting the War of 1812. The U.S.-Mexican War, fighting down in Texas against the Mexicans. We lost 1,733 people with 4,152 wounded. The Civil War, how the Republicans and the Tea Party and are all racist and horrible, and yeah, it was those guys, not the South, the guys in the gray uniforms, the guys in the blue uniforms, fighting to free the slaves. Man, how you rewrite history, how soon you forget who it is that really protects you. It ain't the Democrats, I'm telling you that right now. They were fighting to keep the slaves. Civil War, 184,594 people died. 412,175 were wounded. Now, don't forget, when they called Dr. Sawbones, the reason they got that nickname is that's what they did. They sawed bones. So you got shot in the foot, they cut it off. You got shot in the arm, they cut it off. You got shot in the leg, they cut it off. So out of that 412,000 wounded, I'll bet you half of them were walking around missing a limb, if not more. Spanish-American War, not so bad. 385 people died. 1,662 were wounded. World War I, 53,513 people killed in action. 204,002 people were wounded. World War II, 292,131 Americans killed in action. 846 were wounded. So on all these wars, and there were more wars, I'm not forgetting Vietnam and Korea, and I'm not slamming them by any stretch of the imagination by leaving them out. But I'm talking about wars that were directly fought to protect our liberties. Now I understand we were in Vietnam and Korean War, we were fighting the communists to spread. I understand that. I mean no disrespect. But I'm basically talking about wars that we had to get into. Actually, World War I, we probably could have stayed out of that. World War II, yeah, we had to get into World War II. Because who's going to fight the Germans? France? England? The French. They love the Americans, don't they? Where would they be right now? They'd be speaking German. That's where they'd be doing. And eating bratwurst. Stinking French, ungrateful SOBs. If it wasn't for us, that's what you'd be doing right now. Okay, for total deaths of 540,051 people died in action to protect our freedom, with 1,303,530 wounded in action. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're in a war right now. And I'm not talking about Afghanistan or Iran or any of those places. I'm talking about right here in the United States. When people take an oath of office, they swear to protect the Constitution against foreign or domestic enemies. And right now, we got a lot of domestic enemies. The President of the United States won't even put his hand over his heart in front of the flag. Won't even salute the flag. Have you ever heard of such a thing in your life? He's an embarrassment. He's an embarrassment. And now he's signing this peace treaty with Russia, announcing to the whole world, hey, pretty much do whatever you want. Don't worry, we're not going to nuke you. Well, you don't win wars by not killing people. Okay? That's not how it's done. You gotta kill people. And if you don't have the threat to wipe them out, they're gonna attack. Now, I'm not saying we should drop nuclear bombs on everybody. I pray we never have to use another one again. But the point being, you gotta be the biggest bully on the block. And when you go into a war, you gotta fight to win. And we're not doing that. Okay? Now, we've got to get on the phones and start calling and writing and donating money and getting in this game and take our country back. Because if we don't, in November, if we don't take over the House and the Senate, and then we vote this guy back in, Obama, and he's a two-term president, you can kiss your country goodbye. What you see right now as the United States is gone forever. So get off your butt and get involved, please. Please. Okay. Thanks for tuning in. This is Don Coleman on the American Patriot Now. God bless you.